The Green Bay Packers next on our list to cover in the NFC North. And everyone was hoping that they'd take a wide receiver after trading Davante Adams. And, they have 2 first-round picks. One of them's got to be a wide receiver. One of them's got a wide receiver. Neither of them were a wide receiver. They did take a wide receiver with their second-round pick. They traded up in the second round to take Christian Watson, but their draft, headlined by Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, and Christian Watson, I'd say is a very, very great way to start off your draft, especially with taking Christian Watson in the second round. Aaron, you were the biggest Watson fan out of everybody. Tell Packers fans what they're getting and what they should be excited about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just a rare combination of size and speed in the NFL. You're talking about a guy who's 4'3", 40, 6'4 and an eighth, 208 pounds. This is perfect height and build for the position. He's flat. He understands route concepts. He's polished in his route running. And here we go again. The conversation is going to be, well, what about the production? This guy only has 43 catches, 800 yards, and it's all about the production. Well, he plays in an offense that's predominantly run heavy. Talked about Trey Lance being there last year. He was only throwing the ball 15 to 20 times. That's why Vinny was knocking him, and he was the 3rd overall pick. This is a guy who has speed and size, not comparing like a Randy Moss. This is a Randy Moss-like physical being. And look, he is going to be a huge playmaker for Aaron Rodgers. I said it before that I think he could be the best wide receiver in this draft class. And then when he goes to Green Bay, it makes me feel even more confident about that. I do believe that he's going to be not only the most productive wide receiver as a rookie, but I think when it's all said and done in the next 2 or 3 years, we are going to come back to this rookie draft class and we are going to see Christian Watson as being the most productive. As long as Aaron Rodgers is there for 2 to 3 years while he develops, that is going to be a big-time talent for Green Bay, and I think they hit perfectly. They got their wide receiver, and we're still able to address the defense in the first round.
Let me engage in a little hyperbole here. For the first time since 2002, the Packers didn't draft a wide receiver in the first round, and it was the correct move. I'm very happy with what they did there, waiting it out. All the guys that would have fit their profile, all the guys that we thought could be a good fit, a Jahan Dotson, a Treylon Burks, they were gone. So you wait. Sure, you can take Christian Watson there, but you see why they didn't have to. You can wait till the second round. Then you get aggressive. So now if you're even mad that we didn't get one in the first round, you moved up to get one. So you acknowledge the fact that there was a need. Not only did you acknowledge the fact that there was a need there, you doubled down later on in the draft, once again patiently waiting and getting a very good receiver, in my opinion, in Nevada's Romeo Doubs. This guy knows how to play with a strong arm quarterback because he had one Carson Strong, who also threw a good deep ball. Now you go get that with Aaron Rodgers. And this guy, deep balls are his thing. He's another one of those people who I love his footwork. He knows how to get his feet down when he needs to. He's a two-stepper near the back end of the end zone. And also he's got soft hands. I think to add these two guys to an already proven Allen Lazard will give them the wide receiver courts. No, not like they had with Davante Adams, but enough where they can keep competing. Because once you have Aaron Rodgers, as long as he's throwing you the ball, you're making a lot of good progress in that way. I love the Sean Ryan pick. I think that was another good offensive lineman that they got. Very athletic guy, may not come in on day one, but what he possesses, his ability to get to the second level and keep trucking and stay strong is going to help this offense out a very, very large amount. So kudos to what they did, being patient when they needed to and being aggressive when they needed to. I think the Packers did a good job here in this draft.
Yeah, I think we talk about how they need, I mean, their biggest needs, and wide receiver, they talk about they need a wide receiver, they need to get some help on the offensive line. I love, and you brought up Sean Ryan. I love one of my favorite offensive lineman prospects in this draft was Zach Tom, the offensive lineman out of Wake Forest. I think this guy is going to be, he can come in and be a day one starter, and you got him in the 4th round on top of selecting Sean Ryan in the 3rd round. I mean, you look at Sean Ryan, you look at Zach Tom. Ryan, 1 sack allowed since 2020. You look at Zach Tom, we love PFF on the show apparently now. So 92.1 pass blocking grade in 2021, the best among Power 5 tackles. Not just the best in the ACC, but the best out of all Power 5 tackles in college football last year. I mean, that's That's huge. And you got him in the 4th round. Obviously, these guys, you don't know how they're going to shake up. Some guys could be, you never see the field. I think Zach Tom, you're going to see come in and be the guy for the Green Bay Packers on top of Sean Ryan. It's huge for the Packers. And I mean, talk about all the teams that had great drafts. You talk about the Jets, you talk about the Texans, teams that are rebuilding. Not a whole lot of phenomenal, like top Super Bowl level teams had great drafts. Like you don't see them at the top. You talk about the Ravens, that's about it as like a top team that had a top draft. The Packers are a team that I think you could consider up there as having a great draft.
Yeah, I mean, and you didn't even mention the Kingsley Enagbare pick, which I'll be honest, he went in the 5th round. I had a 2nd round grade on him. So maybe I'm off, but this is a guy that can get after the quarterback. You lose a Zadarius Smith and you bring in this guy in the 5th round. He is going to come in those 3rd down situations and make plays. We already talked about a solid defense that they have over there in Green Bay. This is a team that didn't need much. You added Devontae Wyatt. You added Quay Walker. They already have a Preston Smith. They got Kenny Clark up front. Devondre Campbell's in that linebacking core. Rashawn Gary. And now you bring in Kingsley and Enagbare. I just think the Packers killed this draft. You talked about those Super Bowl caliber teams that had a good draft. Green Bay's definitely up there. Kind of under the radar, but this is what you're allowed to do when you trade a superstar like Davante Adams and you get a 2nd first-round pick. You get an additional 4th-round pick. When you have a front office, despite the drama with Aaron Rodgers, despite the fans not liking them ever taking a wide receiver in the 1st round, this is a team that's competitive every year. They've put quality product on the field every single season. They're in the NFC Championship game, in the playoffs. It's because they know how to build a roster, and I don't think this year is any different. I thought they did a hell of a job, and they're giving Aaron Rodgers a chance to win. Aaron Rodgers just has to go out and do it. I know he doesn't have a Davante Adams anymore, but can you make Christian Watson that top caliber receiver? Can you incorporate a Romeo Doubs to now fill that 3rd wide receiver slot? You drafted Amari Rodgers last year. You still have Randall Cobb. You bring in a Sammy Watkins. You have an Alan Lazard. I think that's enough weapons. Like you have to be able to make it work. A Robert Tunyon's still there. So I think Aaron's up there in Rodgers now to take all that money that he makes, $50 million, and make this team score more than 10 points in a playoff game like they did last year against the 49ers.
Yeah.
The Packers got better. No, the Packers got better.
Yeah.
And that's the goal.
And a lot of focus went on. I mean, after that first night, you saw them take Quay Walker and you saw them take Devontae Wyatt, and you're thinking, okay, same old Packers again, not taking a wide receiver in the 1st round, and here we go. But then they take that Christian Watson pick. But Quay Walker was a name that I don't want to say came out of nowhere, but a linebacker out of Georgia, he just doesn't just come out of nowhere, but it was towards the end of the draft process where he started sneaking into first round mocks. I put him in my 1st round mock at 32, but no, I mean, it doesn't, he wasn't on a lot of mocks, but the Green Bay Packers take him with their first round pick. Aaron, what are they getting with Quay Walker?
I mean, first of all, he's played in a defense that's arguably the best defense college football has ever seen in that Georgia defense. But he navigates space really well. Again, it's a linebacking core that already has really good players there, and now you're adding him to that. He had 5.5 sacks last year at Georgia, his most that he had in the 4 seasons that he was there. He's a veteran. He knows how to play. He's seen big-time SEC football. He knows how to get around blocks. He knows how to engage with offensive linemen, get off of them, and he's a reliable tackler. I think the biggest thing you're getting here is this technique. He's very sound. He's physically and mentally prepared when he comes into a game. I think he feels comfortable being like really tight to the line of scrimmage, not worried about bigger guys being on him. He's not some super amazing athlete. He's 6'3", runs a 4.5, which is good for a linebacker. But I just think you're getting a guy that knows how to play football. And to me, when you add that to a defense that was already really, really good last year and the pieces they have there, I think he's going to fit in perfectly with him and Wyatt. It's going to be a nice addition to what they already have.
Yeah, good job.
He does have an 80-inch wingspan. Helps you wrap up some defenders pretty well when you have length like that. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Let's see how the Packers stand amongst the rest of the NFC North in our GPAs. Let's take an overall look here at the NFC North final GPAs. And you have Green Bay at 3.49 as the second best, though, behind the Detroit Lions at 3.54. The worst, of course, being the Chicago Bears, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for Bears fans, at 2.72, and the Minnesota Vikings coming in at 3.19. Thoughts on those overall GPAs, gentlemen? AJ?
Just interested in the direction you decided to go with calling out the grades.
I was like, okay, well, like I brought up the Packers at 3.49, but it was the second best behind the Detroit Lions, and I was like, the worst though. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Look,
I don't know.
We're gonna run into a situation here in the next year or so where I'm either gonna be on here celebrating my win for saying that Justin Fields is not going to be a good NFL quarterback. And the sad part is it's probably not even going to be his fault. But, this is what I said it, it had to do with Ohio State and all that. You look at him, you see flashes, but there's a chance that 2 years from now, we're like, hey, the Bears are looking for a new quarterback because Justin Fields can't get it done. And we're going to say he's a bust. Everybody's going to say, oh, he didn't live up to the hype. And it's probably not going to be his fault, which is a lot for me saying, because I never thought that he was going to be that good in the first place and all that. But I can't blame him right now. What they're doing in Chicago is just not helping him. Hopefully Eberflus gets it done, but it doesn't look promising right now. Darnell Mooney's your best receiver. No knock against him, but that's not a number one.
Nope. Poor Chicago Bears. But the rest of that, I mean, the Detroit Lions, I feel like this is a trend with all of our final GPAs. It's these historically bad teams now just moving in the right directions with 2 straight years of good drafting. You got the Jets, you got the Lions, you got the Jaguars, these teams now just 2 good years in a row with these drafts now going to start pushing themselves into the race, maybe not all the way at the top, but really fighting and getting their names out there and moving up. And then there's the Vikings and well, yeah.
That's creepy as hell.
that laugh has taken a dramatic turn, a drastic, just into a different.
I'm looking around for Pennywise, bro.
The NFC Championship game, Minnesota Vikings from 2021.
Oof! And if you don't get that joke, go back and watch. Well.
Nope.
Good luck finding it. Good luck finding it. It's from an old brand, but hey,
it's still on Facebook though. It's still
there.
It's still there.
Hey, you have to scroll through all of our Sac City content to find it, which would be nice. You could like, follow, share, click all that stuff too. Right there at the Sac City Pod, you can find it. If you scroll far enough, you might find some RCOD stuff, and you might understand where that laugh came from. And go buy a t-shirt while you're at it, while Vinny's throwing up the graphics. Buy a t-shirt, support the brand, because we doing it big, baby.